What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and man, sometimes I just don't understand the internet. So, Scalebound is an Xbox One exclusive that was announced a couple E3s ago. I think it was 2014 E3, and it looked like it was going to be an interesting game featuring dragons. The RPG exclusive that the Xbox One was potentially needing. And it got canceled a couple days ago, and I've been kind of sitting on it. I wanted to make a video right when it happened, but there was a whole part of me that was like, I don't care. Doesn't matter. And I kind of thought that was just going to be what everybody else said. I thought, the PlayStation fanboys were going to take their pot shots and laugh about it. Oh, Xbox doesn't have any games. Blah, 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 blah. And that happened, but people are losing their damn minds about this, and I don't understand. Are we looking at the same game? People care about Scalebound now that it's been canceled 10 times more than they did before it got canceled, and I don't understand. What are we seeing? This is what drives me nuts about gaming journalism, and probably journalism in general, and why I moved away from it and moved over towards, doing YouTube and doing commentaries and stuff like that. Because anybody can just create a blog and write stuff, and just some of the things that are out there are like, people are asking if Phil Spencer is the right person to run Microsoft over this. Like, are you serious? The game was probably bad. It probably wasn't going to be ready in time. So they cut bait and moved on. There's no point in continuing developing a game if it's not going the direction that you want it to, or it's costing more money than you think it's going to make. I would rather somebody that is running a company not be full of themselves and force the issue and say, oh my God, we have to have more games, and push out something that ends up being garbage. AKA No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky could have benefited from way more quality assurance. It could have dealt with having, way more development time, and instead they stuck with a release date, pushed it out, and it was universally panned to the point where a lot of people put it as their worst game of last year, and it deserves that. I don't want to see games get released that way. I wanted to love No Man's Sky, and I would have bought Scalebound, and I would have wanted to love that too. But the problem is, there's been too many games that have come out that are just terrible. And at least Spencer had enough wherewithal to know, hey, this is probably not going to turn out well for us. And I would rather have quality come out over quantity. Quantity does not mean much to me. There's plenty of games to make. There's plenty of multi-platform games. I play and enjoy far more multi-platform games than I do exclusive games anyway. And Scalebound was not destined to be any better than any of the other exclusives that I've been let down by. Yeah, there are some good exclusives on each console, but I haven't loved any of them on either platform. None of the exclusives on Xbox last year would have made my top 10 list, and the same can be said for PlayStation 4. That includes Uncharted 4, which I think is vastly overrated. I think it's amazing graphics, amazing story, but it's not my kind of game. It's not the type of game that I enjoy, and I think the gunplay is awful. So, to each their own, but Scalebound, at what point in time was there really any buzz? For me, it was always just a list, a game that was on a list. Hey, look, we've got exclusives. There's Scalebound, and there's this game, and there's that game. Like, that's all it comes down to. It comes down to these petty console war arguments. Like, that's all Scalebound was to me. Just a game on a list. And I feel bad for the people that were making it. I mean, I'm sure they meant well. I'm sure they were trying hard. I'm sure there's a good chance it might have eventually been a good game, but not for the value that Microsoft was getting out of it. And at some point, you can't just have a game sit in development over and over and over and over again as time just flies by, you know? Eventually you're not going to make money putting out the product. And I think that's probably what Microsoft was faced with, because let's face it, there was no buzz about this game. Again, it's had more buzz since it's been canceled than it did before. Like, in the entire 2+ years that it sat there since being introduced at E3. So why are we freaking out about this? Yes, it's a big deal, but at the end of the day, it's not. It's just another game that got canceled, and there are plenty of them that look like they were going to be great that came before it. It's unfortunate. I mean, again, I feel bad, but like, if you look at the list of Platinum Game titles, you know, Mad World, Infinite Space, Bayonetta, which I've heard is good, but I haven't played it because I never had a Wii. Vanquish, which is it was okay. Anarchy Reigns, like, I never played it because it looked terrible. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which I believe is the bastard child of the Metal Gear family. I know people that liked it, but I certainly didn't. I mean, I thought it was terrible. I hated it. The Wonderful 101, again, I don't know, don't care. Legend of Korra, I know it's a big Japanese, what is it, manga or anime, whatever it may be. I know that's big, but I don't know anything about the game, so I haven't played that. Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Guard. I think I've heard negative things about those, but I don't know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, terrible. Transformers Devastation, such a letdown. Like, I didn't even finish it, and it wasn't even a long game. And then Nier Automata, which comes out here in a couple weeks. I played the demo. It's okay. But, like, what on that list gives you the confidence that Scalebound was going to be anything other than a bargain bin game at some point, you know? Like, there's nothing about it that really looked like it was anything more than just another game with dragons in it. Oh, and headphones. I mean, like, I actually thought the game looked a little corny from time to time, but I was going to play it. I was going to buy it, and I was going to play it because that's what I do. That's why I own both consoles. I want to have the opportunity to play the exclusives. You know, Horizon Zero Dawn looks like it's going to be great. I hope it is, you know, and I'm going to buy it. But, like, that's what I do. So there's going to be plenty of games for Xbox. People need to stop freaking out, making something out of nothing. Like, I don't get it. So love to know what you guys think. I just think this is such a waste of breath. Like, nobody cared about this game. Why are we freaking out about it now that it's been canceled? You know, like, I know it's not the first exclusive for Microsoft that's been canceled. I know they canceled Fable, or what was it? Fable Legends, another game that looked like it was going to be terrible, and they canceled Phantom Dust reboot because it wasn't trending properly. They decided to do a remaster instead, which, to be honest with you, I know a lot of my friends that love Phantom Dust. They're completely happy and satisfied just getting a remaster. So, I don't know, man. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't understand why we're freaking out. Nobody cared about Scalebound 2 weeks ago. Now that it's gone, I think you should probably just care less about it now. Anyway, we'll see ya. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, keep it respectful, though. Like, none of this console war crap.